Welcome back to Retail Therapy on the Sunday Scaries podcast feed. My name's Will DeFries. With me in the studio, my loyal co-host Barrett Dudley. Barrett, how's it going today?
It's going all right. Excited to be back. This is our first episode of 2023, is it not?
Well, technically, we released one.
First one we recorded
exactly
in 2023.
Exactly. We have not gotten in the studio together in a minute.
Yeah.
This is our first recording, and maybe it feels like what could be a month.
Almost. I think it's damn near. It's 3 weeks at a minimum, and that's just too long.
There's a part of me that's worried that the vibes have shifted so much in the last month that we're not going to know where to pick up all the pieces.
I understand that feeling, especially because my vibes have shifted over the last 3 weeks.
What?
Because, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I immediately after we recorded on December 21st, I got in my head and I utilized the interwebs. I used a little program, Slack channel actually, that I have thanks to Soul Savvy, little kind of sneaker shoe hunting. I used to call it like everything but the bot. I used that tool, and the day after we recorded, I found myself a restock of taupe Birkenstock Bostons.
See,
and I pulled trig, and I feel good about this. It was an excellent purchase, and I got in under the wire as the door was closing on 2022. I got in, I snuck in, and my vibes have now shifted because I am a Birkenstock Boston. I'm part of the mainstream, man. It feels like a backward step, but it feels like a good backward step.
See, I'm jealous of you right now because I recently had a conversation with somebody and they asked me, am I chuggy for wearing these Birkenstock Bostons? I was like, no, you should be very happy with yourself right now. You can't get these anywhere.
Right. No. Yeah. And I'm sure that they are about to do like a massive restock, but that's okay because they are. Look,
but people are gonna know. People are gonna know if you have the restock or if you got in before 2023.
They should just put like a little pink dot like somewhere like on the side, on the lateral medial side of them, just so you know if you're a 2023 restock boy or girl or
it's
not.
like when everybody was trying to like suss out like the fake Yeezys and stuff. It's like no, you can see the glue right there. That's actually stitched on everything else.
But
it's like the map. The guy on TikTok who does the maps. It's like you show him a clog and he's just like, nope, that's fall winter 2022.
Yeah. But so it's they're ubiquitous at this point. But after attempts at essentially the faux Birkenstock Bostons, even if they were like more higher end than the actual ones, it's just really nice to have the real thing.
Yeah, I
don't care if I'm late. I don't care if I'm late to this because they're goated.
What does it say about me that like I want some? I want one of the colorways from Stussy.
Yeah,
I just don't want the imprint of the Stussy logo on my Birkenstock Bostons.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and it'll be interesting. Stussy dropped one today actually, so it'll be a couple days.
I need to pay more attention to them. I'm not paying enough attention to Stussy.
But yeah, maybe they'll run it back or something. I don't know. I'm with you though. Stussy has some really, really great colorways.
I like them.
And I mean, the imprint's the imprint. It's almost like the imprint makes them more hype than they need to be.
Yeah,
in a way.
Exactly.
So I get that. And but yeah. So I'm a Boston owner now.
I'm jealous, man. And, I have to admit, I haven't bought anything in way too long. Like I need to spend some money on something soon before I lose my mind. I haven't purchased anything material for myself in a very long time. It's killing me.
Well, maybe all the non-spending has you queued up to purchase your wish list item.
That might no. Today's wish list item. I can tell Barrett's already looked at it. These are not an imminent cop. These are on the wish list, sitting there, sitting there,
just hanging.
I do have an issue. As some people know, I have a son, and I drop him off at daycare every once in a while, twice a week.
Well, I thought you were going to say your issue is that you have a son, and therefore you can't be going around blowing bags.
No, I think that's more of an excuse. Like I'm not going to bars and spending pointless money there. So I think like when you have a kid, you have a better excuse to actually buy material items. But so I was dropping my son off today, and I was wearing something I actually got off my wish list, which is a pair of Adidas fucking awesome skate shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the shoes themselves are fucking awesome. I'm telling people out there that that's the name of the brand that they collaborated with. So when I rolled up, I was like, man, I'm probably going to have the most forward sneakers here out of all the dads dropping their kids off right now. And I'm getting in my car and I see this dad walking up and he's wearing a pair of he's wearing the New Balance that the president of Ukraine's been wearing lately.
Ah,
And I immediately was like, "Oh, I just got completely bodied out of daycare drop off today. This guy just crushed me."
this is what Zelensky's been wearing? Or
Yes.
does that, I got the name right?
Yes, yes. Sorry. I
I'm
was
cultured.
worried I
know
wasn't
current
gonna get it
events.
right. And I was just sitting there and I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. Like this guy just absolutely dunked on me and I just can't do anything about it. He showed up wearing the $199 New Balances that the Ukrainian president's wearing.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to pull pics here. Wait, was Zelensky wearing Jounds?
Yeah, he was it Jounds or was it the ALD collaboration? I think it might have been the Jounds.
The brown Jounds? Is that what
Yeah.
our guy Zelensky's been wearing?
Yeah.
How did he get his hand on those?
I don't know. How did the guy at my daycare get his hands on him too? I was just sitting there, I was like, you gotta be kidding.
Huh. Well, that's something. You know who else I saw wearing a pair of Jound New Balances is some boxer or fighter that's a big deal this past weekend or something. There was some fight. Dave probably knows.
Yeah,
It was like some Garcia or something. But like this guy, he pulls up to the arena in like some massive Mercedes truck or something like that. You know how they
Yeah.
gets out, entourage, just absolutely dripping, jewelry,
Love
human
it.
made, Nego, all the stuff. And then he was wearing Jound New Balances. And it was just like, okay, wow,
Okay.
like this, yeah.
It's like, wow, you like minimalistic Canadian brands. Congratulations, sir.
It was a new level of hype there. So yeah, they continue to expand outside of just like the ALD boy market. You know what I mean?
They're everywhere. They're
Yeah,
everywhere.
They are. I have a question. I've got a totally like I'm going to shift the vibe on you
Shift it.
before we get into anything further, unless you had more on.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
I've been meaning to ask you this question, but I just decided to save it until we were on pod. You were getting ready to go on a winter trip to
I
your
was.
hometown in Michigan
I was.
recently. Looks like some of that got interrupted by assorted winter storms and
We had a slight delay.
and Southwest airline collapses.
Slight delay, but we did fine.
It would have appeared to me that you and your wife Sally were out the night before you were supposed to leave.
Yeah,
Is that something that is that accurate to real life? Was that
Yes.
okay?
I
That before you can go, that's insane. That is insane.
What's more insane?
It might be the most impressive, craziest thing that I know about you now. That before over a week-long trip with your small son to your hometown for winter weather, with all the packing and travel arrangements and requirements that you got to do before a trip, that you were out drinking martinis the night before. That's crazy. You really set the bar high, Will. Like
it was a blessing. It was a blessing that our flight got canceled. Because when we got home at 11 p.m. that night and had to put the finishing touches on our packing, and we saw that our flight was canceled, I thought to myself, you know what? It's good that I don't have to get up in 4 hours.
Like, when did you pack?
Before. Here's the thing,
Like,
Barrett. Something people need to know about me.
You're so prepared over the course of the week before your trip that you were like already packed before the night of?
If I'm going on a trip for more than like 3 days, I will start mentally packing like 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
I have to.
But mentally packing is I make a list and notes of like what I'm going to bring and everything. And no matter what, like the night before, I'm up till like midnight at least at a minimum putting it all together.
So I have this thing that I do, and I don't know what to call it. I need to come up with a name for it. But I get pre-trip excitement. And in that pre-trip excitement, I might try to go out a little bit before I go on my trip. And I feel like the night before, I always end up having a couple drinks because I'm like pumped up and I'm already mentally on vacation. And suddenly I'm hungover on my stupid flight the next morning, or at least have like a little stinging headache. But yeah,
was the destination a local place famous for steaks and martinis?
It is, yeah, it was,
okay.
yeah. So then that's another thing. Sally and I, we like to do a nice dinner at the same restaurant, Jeffrey's in Austin.
Yeah.
We do it as close to Christmas as we can. Just because we like to have a cozy dinner, and that's really our one splurge meal around the holidays that we like to go and have our date night for, and we look forward to it. We make that reservation months out. We ball and we enjoy ourselves, and then I go with my tail between my legs to every other restaurant for the next couple months after.
Well, I mean, I mentioned off mic that my partner Laura is on a girls' weekend trip. And like she left on Thursday morning. And so like Wednesday night was like just like an all out, I mean, just like a mess,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like clothes littered everywhere, like various levels of stress and hysterics about what to pack and what to wear and how many shoes you can bring and how you're going to get all this in a carry on. And
Is it kind of nice watching it, knowing that you don't have to worry about anything?
Well, as you know, I'm the de facto stylist, right? So I'm called up to bat here.
Yeah, that's tough
in these moments.
She's standing in front of the mirror, like doing 360s.
I don't just get to like lounge on the couch and like watch Banshees by myself while she goes and does the thing. Like I'm there giving feedback and helping and doing all that type of stuff. But what this makes me think of after watching you do this is maybe you make a res the night before. You know, you make these plans to go out, and perhaps that could force me to get everything done before the night before.
It definitely helps
because I've got this thing to look forward to. I know we are going to be doing this. We got to do this. Like
it definitely helped.
Like if I don't get it done, I'm gonna have to cancel this fun thing that I have planned.
Yeah.
So
I refuse to pack the morning of. It's something I'll never do, and so I will only do it before. And on certain nights, I will just like I'll maybe take off work at like 4.
Yeah.
Go home and just start packing.
Did you already have the dog squared away?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. We're good.
That's another.
Yeah.
Like Rosie was off to wherever she was going to be.
She was at least, no, we had someone meeting us the next morning. So we already had all of her stuff ready to go and they were just going to come over and pick her up. So we were I'm a prepared person. I don't like going into a vacation unprepared.
Okay.
As you know, and I mean, I was stressed about packing for Italy for about 4 months leading up to it.
Well,
that's just how it is.
I aspire to your level of preparation and just forethought because
thank you, Barrett.
That's not how it goes in my house.
Well, before we get into the bulk of today's episode, we got some announcements. First and foremost, please go follow Retail Therapy on Instagram. We're about to hit 10K. It's going to happen. I honestly, by the time that you've listened to the end of this episode, I think a lot of people out there are going to go to this account and be like, oh, they're already at 10K. Not a big deal. Wow. You should still follow. Additionally, listener companions will be returning at willdefreeze.substack.com. I'll put all the resources from today's episode, whether it's links to products we talk about, articles we talked about, or just our wish list items. Go check it out, willdefreeze.substack.com. You can go find that in the link of this episode or in the description of this episode. And as always, youtube.com/Sunday Scaries podcast. You can watch all these episodes. Barrett's a whiz with putting stuff up on the screen. Go check it out. And yeah, we've got a sponsor that I absolutely love. We're talking about Squarespace real quick. Squarespace is a company that has helped me in my career tenfold. I don't know where I would be without Squarespace in my life. When I first discovered it, I realized it was an all-in-one platform for building brands, growing online businesses, etc. And what I did was I wanted to start a website on it, and I started blogging on it, and I started doing Sunday Scaries on it. And what I got was a beautiful website that allowed me to engage with my audience, sell products for the first times, create content. It was just awesome. And when I say that I don't know where I'd be without Squarespace, I truly mean it. They made it so easy to build an aesthetically pleasing website while also having all the features and capabilities of so many other platforms out there. There are so many features to choose from, whether it's just selling your products, whether it is sending email blasts, whether it is blogging. They have so many different things that you can do through Squarespace that there's no shortage of ways to grow your business, to grow your personal brand, to grow whatever you want. They even have a nice little holding page where you can collect emails. They've got so many different things. Please go check it out. I swear, even if you don't know how to build a website, you will know how to build one through Squarespace. Check out squarespace.com/scaries for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code SCARIES to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, that is squarespace.com/scaries for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code SCARIES to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Just go do it. I love these guys. Barrett, I've been waiting to talk about this for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
My sister reached out to me and she said, I think this is up your alley. And when I clicked through on that little Instagram link, I said, yes, it is. Tiny beanies have been all the talk on this podcast as of late. And Gnomecore is our most recent aesthetic that we need to talk about very briefly.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is really based off of the now infamous photo of Christian Bale with his beard and his tiny beanie sitting atop his head from a recent GQ shoot. And now people are just submitting photos of them looking like gnomes. They're wearing jackets that look like Paddington should be wearing them. They're wearing beanies on top of their heads. They're looking cozy as hell, Barrett.
I mean, first and foremost, I'm obviously familiar with this photo of Christian Bale from the GQ editorial. It really, really, really is giving gnome, like to a degree that I had not considered before, but it's really funny.
That might be my Halloween costume next year. I might just go as Christian Bale Gnomecore.
I mean, you can do the beard, so you really should.
Exactly.
You really should take.
I've been trimming the chin on my beard a little short lately, but I think I might need to start getting it longer so I can go full gnome.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I would say that a new a new level of tiny beanie has been unlocked here with giving gnome and looking like a gnome.
I'm also seeing that I didn't know how much fashion inspiration I should have been drawing from gnomes this entire time. They're just stacking like sweaters on top of sweaters. You got cardigan. You have like mohair cardigans on top of cashmere sweaters. You've got just people wearing
a lot of layered knitwear. They were big on that. The gnomes.
See,
gnomes are Scandinavian, right?
I don't know. I've never thought about the origin stories of gnomes.
They got to be Scandinavian.
Are they? Yeah. I mean, I would assume that they would be. Like, if I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and it was like, what part of the world did gnomes come from? And Scandinavia's on that list. I'm like, see, the obvious answer would be Scandinavia.
Oh, yeah. Okay. See, and we would be wrong and we would lose the $1 million because they originally, they first appeared in the gardens of England in the 1840s.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
So it's more of a British thing. But
I need a Fair Isle sweater. I need a heavy cable knit. I don't have these in my rotation right now.
You need some stripes. Yeah, I almost wore a striped sweater today, and now I really wish I had, and I wish I had paired it with a tiny beanie. It was like 40 degrees this morning, so I could have gotten away with that.
Actually, I do have a striped. Actually, the more I think about it, you might if we do end up having an afternoon pint at the new Irish pub in Austin tomorrow, Barrett, you might see me showing up looking a little gnomey. because I'm just.
Should we just stroll in there looking like two gnomes?
Yeah, I mean, dude, they'll be like, "Oh, sweet, you guys are from 1840s." Like, we're Irish, we're not English, but we care.
How about let's talk ceramics for a second? I can't quite tell where this mug is from.
I will absolutely talk ceramics.
Lay claim to your very own mystical mug from Heresy, London. Just a beautiful, swampy, marshy, Scottish green here,
with
a gnome on there.
Ooh, it's giving Hobbit.
Imagine dressing like a gnome and sipping some hot tea out of this thing.
See, I have worries. I'm gonna bring producer Randy up here. Randy is a known Shein shopper, which is not great. But Randy is very fashion forward in that he thinks that cloaks are gonna make just a huge comeback relatively soon. And I think that like Gnomecore and all this kind of stuff is only going to end up with people wearing cloaks. I told Randy before we recorded today that I think cloaks will be in vogue before Christmas 2023.
Wow. Okay.
I agree. I think the perfect person, Jared Leto, put him in a cloak. He's perfect for one.
Why?
Now, are we like what's the difference between a cloak and a cape?
Okay, so a cloak has a hood. I mean, there's.
Got it.
I think there's like a caper. And
so we're talking like Little Red Riding Hood, like ties at the neck. It's a cape with a hood.
So cloaks don't have armholes, right?
No. Yes, correct. It's no like a cape with a hood. No armholes. That's just a hoodie.
I think we're getting closer and closer to cloak.
I mean, women are already,
cloakcore.
The clean girls and the it girls are already doing like the oversized blazer where it's like just on their shoulders.
Yeah,
they're halfway there to the cloak.
Maybe this is the more masculine way of adopting the blazer over the shoulders for us. Maybe it's like a little less intimidating for us to just toss a cloak on.
And the brooches can be just swagged out, I guess.
I actually think that have brooches been in? Everything I saw at the Golden Globes were a bunch of people. I wouldn't say they had brooches, but I saw a lot of ornate sewn things on people.
Yeah,
like people had like large roses or like just embroidered things, which kind of trends gnome. If I'm being honest, I could see some gnomes just sitting around just like whittling things.
There's Ed Asner as the OG gnome himself, Santa Claus.
is that the original gnome? Is Gnomecore only catching on because Santa Claus was just in the news cycle for a little bit?
Yeah, it might have been. You know who else is very gnomish is Professor Dumbledore.
For sure. He's got some drip.
Yeah.
Dumbledore's got some drip. Sneaky.
Yeah.
Sneaky. I started watching the new Lord of the Rings series over Christmas,
Rings of
and
Power.
I haven't made it very far, but I am hoping to draw some kind of inspiration from them. A lot of ALD inspiration. Teddy Santis is he's giving Gnome a little bit.
Yeah. There's even a photo of the man himself just looking straight up gnome.
I
Right?
think I'm going to lean into this for the remainder of the season.
There it is.
Until we start getting consistent temperatures that are too hot to layer,
Uh-huh.
I think I might start going a little gnomey.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to roll with my gnomies
Well,
for a
now
little bit.
you've cemented the fact that we have to go to this Irish pub tomorrow.
We are.
Because I'm gonna dress up.
I'm going to
as
be
a gnome
transparent. I'm going to be
tomorrow.
transparent here, Barrett. I already have plans to go.
Okay,
So,
I'm
it's
just gonna
happening.
crash your party. Then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not a party. It's just my future brother-in-law and I
Yeah.
decided that we deserve to break dry January by having some pints with the lads.
Oh, okay. We're gonna get into that here in a second, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, we can get in whenever. I mean, can we talk about social omnivores real quick?
Let's talk about social omnivores first.
I didn't know what social omnivores were until you sent me something, and as I started reading it, I started to realize that I'm definitely headed in that direction. So, will you explain what a social omnivore
Yeah,
is?
so I came across this this term, this phrase. We got to name everything these days. You know, we have to give every type of lifestyle and every decision that you make with your personal, social, and cultural being. We have to name it. And so, Bon Appetit is the post here, and the title is "The Social Omnivore Lifestyle is Rising." And so what this touches on is, you know, we're gonna get to sobriety here and dry January and all of that. It's very popular to do that. I mean, beyond dry January, there's quite a large like sober movement. I think in general, there's a lot of
Oh
that,
yeah, the kids.
in the culture right now. But the other thing, and probably the thing that I vibe with a lot more than passing on alcohol, is passing on meat. Is trying to be a little bit more sensitive and thoughtful with how much meat you're consuming, and you know, I won't get into the whole climate thing that all the factory farming causes. But here's what a social omnivore lifestyle is: they're vegetarian, but only when they're home. Meet the social omnivores. They eat plant-based at home when it's in their control, but socially, when they're out at restaurants, when they're with friends, they still indulge in a brisket or a steak or a burger. So it's, you know, there's a word here is flexitarian.
Flexitarian. Flexitarian.
So they're kind of, you know, they're getting rid of the very hard and fast rules of being a vegetarian or vegan and controlling it where they can by being plant-based or plant-focused or heavily vegetarian or vegan, whichever you choose at home. But then when you go out, when you're at restaurants, when you're with friends, if you're at somebody else's home, you're still eating, you know, meat products, whatever you so choose.
Are you doing
know?
sober January, dry January?
I'm
whatever
not
you wanna
doing
call
dry
it?
January.
Okay.
No.
I am currently doing dry January.
Yeah.
I do plan on breaking it tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna spend the rest of the month, you know, having casual drinks or anything, or if I'm just gonna do it for the weekend.
Did you also break it right at the beginning though?
I delayed because my birthday is January 2nd.
That's right.
And so I'm not really in the business of not enjoying myself to my full capabilities on my birthday. So my birthday is already on a very depressing day.
Yeah.
Maybe the scariest day of the year for some. And so it's just not me to say have limitations. But what I am doing, and I will be sticking with through the end of the month, is I've been doing pescatarian January.
Okay.
This is something I do randomly. Usually I only do it for about a week, or maybe 2 weeks. I've never done a full month of it, so I figured this would be a fun month to try it. And now I'm starting to think that when I go back, I think I might actually try the social omnivore side of things, because I can easily do this at home. It's not hard for me to make fish at home. It's not hard for me to make vegetarian meals at home. What's difficult for me is going to restaurants where they have like one fish option. It's
Right.
always salmon, or if they just have a salad that you get tired of eating salads.
Yeah.
I would love to just say, you know what, this restaurant probably knows how to cook something better than I do when it comes to meat. I'm just going to start going all in on you guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better about like right now. What we do is we consciously make an effort to not include meat in every meal of the week.
Yeah.
Like if we try to at least cook something, and usually when we cook, our meals go 2, 4, 6. Something like that. And so we try to do something plant-based and without meat, so that we have that for at least a couple dinners, couple lunches, something like that. I find it more difficult to find a lot of I love cooking out of cookbooks, Half Baked Harvest, Healthy-ish, I've named some of the ones that I really like here on the pod before. It's not always easy to find vegetarian recipes that I find like filling and satisfying. And so I really need to just like get my, get the depth of my go-to vegetarian recipes.
Uh-huh.
Need to build that up a little bit.
That's where I struggled with, and that's why
Yeah.
I was only doing like a week at a time, because I have a friend who kind of explained to me why she was a vegetarian. And after a vacation where we were visiting her, I decided to go for a couple weeks after. I was just going to go straight vegetarian, and it was the most difficult thing for me was figuring out how to find the
Yeah.
recipes to cook, what I liked. Like, I mean, you can go buy a bunch of mushrooms, but you're going to get tired of eating mushrooms after a little bit.
Sure.
But I guess that goes the same as if you were eating a bunch of, ground beef.
Right.
Like, it's just a difficult thing to navigate. But I do think that I could see myself going full time doing this on the drinking front of things. Like, just only drinking when I'm out and not at home, because I don't really drink that much at home these days anyway.
So that leads me to another thing that I wanted to bring up here. I don't have it in front of me, so I won't get it pulled up. But I think it was like Pure Wow or Refinery 29 or one of those publications that, like, again, because everything has to be named in this day and age, they were like talking about again a rising lifestyle, which they were calling damp.
Yes.
Which is and I've heard this term thrown around a little bit this year, damp January.
Yeah.
Which is essentially where you're either like only drinking on Saturday, or alternatively, kind of like what we're saying. I think on a broader scale, it is like drinking on the weekends and not on the week, which has been like a Sunday Scaries thing and kind of like among our peers, like a thing for a long time. You kind of go hard on the weekends. You go out to dinner. Maybe you hit up one bar or something like that. Saturday beer, Sunday wine, like in the evening, and then you restore and refresh and go healthy like during the week to kind of like balance that out and make up for it.
It's not to me. It's not an admirable thing.
It's not an admirable.
I don't think it's that admirable. Like, oh, you only drink on the weekend. Like, okay, big deal.
Well, okay, sure.
No, if you're cutting back, it's admirable. But it's just funny to me sometimes where I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, I could probably do that.
Well, okay, that's kind of where I was going. Like, does that need a name?
No.
Does that need?
No,
like,
I think it's just being
how
responsible.
most people
Yeah.
do this, and like, and even if they don't, like, do we need a distinction between? Like, you have sober and you have like alcoholic, right?
Yes, yeah.
Like, you're drinking too much or you don't drink at all. Everything else is some form of moderation. Like, we don't have to name every single version of this, whether you enjoy one or two drinks every day, or whether you abstain during the week unless you had like a really hard day at work, and maybe you have 3 or 4 on the weekends, or like all of it is just like mix and matching to make sure that we feel healthy and good about what we're doing. And so like you said, like if you're making an attempt to pull back and something like damp January or a damp lifestyle is like how you need to frame it for yourself, good, more power to you. But like, I don't think that we need to name and describe every single version of like drinking in moderation that there is.
No, I think when it comes to like that kind of thing, no, we don't need to name it, because we're just looking for something to talk about.
Yeah,
when it comes to like trends and stuff, we need those to be named, because we need things to talk about on this. Like,
that is
this
true.
podcast.
That's true. Yeah, I shouldn't bite the hand that feeds me.
Yeah, we can't. We have to be careful here. We have to be careful. And like, I'd be lying if I said that there's part of me that's just like, I can't just not go out and be social and do like a month away, because I feel like I need to go see like what people are doing. I need to get my people watching in. I just don't do that enough when I'm sitting at home just being bored.
Well, so how do you feel about, like if you're super duper committed to both dry January, but also maintaining your social schedule? Like, have you ever gone out and done a dinner, done drinks, and then just like drank the soda water with lime?
Yeah. When I get in the mode, I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Like I can be good and I can be strict about it, but it's the boredom that kills me. Like when it's a Sunday afternoon and I have nothing to do, I would love to just go have a beer somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And like, I would love to go, like, I guess I can go have like
why don't you just read a book, you heathen?
I mean, I do that sometimes, but like, it just doesn't, it doesn't scratch the itch.
Yeah. No, I
don't do that sometimes. I've read 4 books in the last like 2 years.
The reason that I don't do dry January or have not attempted it is because like, I just don't, the value that I feel like I would get out of dry January is less than the value that I get of like the release valve of like seeing people having a drink or coming home after a really long day and like pulling an ice cold beer out of the fridge. Like there are just like these moments like why am I going to why am I going to deprive myself of that? And I'm not poo-pooing anybody that does sober January. It's obviously a massive wave that a lot of people find value in and get something out of. It's just for me, like I would just be like hopping on a wave to do it because it's not something that I feel like I need to do.
100% of the reason that I do it, like 100% of the reason, is to just feel like I'm getting back to normal after a long holiday.
Yeah.
Like, and 2 weeks of not indulging, I officially feel back to 100%.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and now that I feel 100%, I'm like, well, why would I like if an
Right.
athlete feels
You've reset.
Yeah.
You do not feel like the malaise of like drinking for 9 days straight or whatever, or
Yeah.
like all that type of stuff. Like now you're back to zero.
Put
Yeah.
me in, coach.
Yeah, put
Like
you-
I'm
yeah,
ready.
yeah.
I want to get out there. I want to score some goals. Like
Yeah.
let me get out there. In the same vein, and I'm actually going to bump this up because I want to talk about this. There's a lot of people talking about, oh, well, sober January. Well, I'm not doing sober January. I'm going to go California January, where I still can have my edibles or hit my weed pen and things like that.
Okay.
And on Overheard in LA, or Overheard LA, one of the many Overheard accounts out there that do very well and that are always very entertaining. They came up with what it's like to be sober in LA. They have Echo Park sober, which is orange wine, isn't technically alcohol, especially if you drink it while looking bored at El Prado. They have other variations of this. They have Venice sober, 3 yearly ayahuasca trips and microdosing shrooms before something I can't pronounce. They have Silver Lake sober, no alcohol because Andrew Huberman said so. Molly weeknights at Zebulon to dance away the pain of knowing you'll never own a home. That might hit a little too. That might hit a little too close. Santa Monica sober. Beverly Hills sober, wine only in the evenings, expensive Coke before the kids' soccer practice. That's aggressive. And so I started thinking, I've actually have had a note to myself for a very long time about coming up with various versions of quote unquote sober, where you're quote unquote sober without actually being sober. And I started thinking, you know what? We need to figure out what the variation of retail therapy sober is. If we were to designate things that people are allowed to do if they decide to go full retail therapy
Yeah,
sober,
yeah.
what are they allowed to eat or drink?
Well, so my first thought when I saw this on our rundown was actually not food or drink. Retail therapy sober, I feel like would be no shopping, no self-care. No massages, no splurges at Mr. Porter.
It's true. Yeah.
No, you can't hit the Essence sale.
See, this is
You
hard.
can't pick up any new candles, right? Like that's where I went. But I think if we're staying within the bounds of food and drink, then I think if you go retail therapy sober, then you're only allowed to have martinis, even though yes, they were on our out list, but you know, this is part of
No,
this
it was
is-
dirty.
this is
Okay,
why-
there needs to be
Okay.
an understanding
Dirty
here.
okay.
Martinis are not out.
Okay.
But
Dirty-
y'all need to start ordering other stuff.
Yes.
Try a Gibson, try
Right.
a Cosmo, try
Yes.
something.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So it would be so during retail therapy sober, you can only have gin martinis between the hours of 3 and 5 p.m.
Why 3 and 5?
Because that's like the most, I feel like that's the most
Sun up martinis are a dangerous game
they
to play.
are, but I feel like when I think of our vibe, you know, where we like to shift the vibes, it's a very kind of like afternoony. Why am I drinking hard liquor at 4 p.m.?
I do
type
wonder that
thing,
sometimes.
as opposed to, you know, like right, like what's like I don't know. That feels more retail therapy-ish than well, I don't know.
Now you've actually
now I'm talking myself out of it.
now you've talked me into thinking that retail therapy sober needs to have to do with spending habits, and I think you're right.
Yeah.
I tried to get when I was little, my mom, my dad always made fun of my mom for shopping, and my mom admitted that she would probably shop a lot. And so my dad bet my mom one summer day that she couldn't go a month without spending money on material items.
Okay.
They bet $100 at the time. I'm not sure with inflation what that would equate to now, but I think in the early 90s, $100 was a decent amount. And my mom did it. And my dad was so spiteful towards her for not spending money on that kind of stuff that he paid her in pennies, which I think just infuriated my mom even more. I don't think they had like Coinstar machines back in the day. So to get $100 in pennies was very insulting. But I thought of this recently, and I think it was either November. It was October or November. I asked Sally, I was like, do you think you could go the full month without buying anything? I'll do it with you. And she said yes. I'm not kidding. 6 days later, packages started arriving at our place, and I was like, in order for this to have arrived today, you would have had to order this at least 3 days ago, which means that you didn't even make it 2 days into retail therapy October.
Yeah.
So it didn't work. I don't think I could.
That would be. I mean, we're talking about it here, and I talk about like I don't let you. Sober January is kind of whatever for me. The retail therapy sober, not making any purchases would be so much more difficult. That would probably be way more healthier for me to actually like go into a month and try to be like, let's see if I can do this. No spending on like you can make an Amazon purchase, right?
I think you can make an Amazon purchase as long as it's for something that would be classified as a necessity, within your domicile.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah.
Would it be more difficult for you to go an entire month not buying material stuff online, or would it be more difficult for you to go an entire month not eating at restaurants? And by eating at restaurants, I'm not including takeout. I'm talking about like going to a restaurant and sitting down and eating. So every other meal you'd either have to like pick up curbside, or
that would be a lot easier.
You think that would be easier for you than shopping online?
For sure.
I think it'd be easier for me to give up shopping online for a month.
Yeah.
I think it would be a good exercise for me, but I think it would be very difficult for me to just not go to a restaurant for a long time.
Yeah.
I like having those little 90-minute reprieves.
This is if you pulled up our 2 Mint accounts, I think this would be the differentiator.
I would like to see that. Yeah.
My like retail spending would the bar would be higher. I think your restaurant spending the bar would be higher.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I need to start evening the playing field when it comes to the clothes that I purchase. I'm going to exercise something on February 1st. I'm going to go into my closet and I'm going to start pulling out things that I have not worn during the cold weather up until this point.
Okay.
If I haven't worn it by February 1st of the winter, that item needs to go.
Okay.
And for the first time in my life, I'm realizing that it's not going to feel right to donate this stuff. I have to get on Grailed or something.
Yeah.
Like I have a cardigan that I spent way too much money on. It got its use, and my cost per wear, I feel good about it. But I'm not gonna. I don't wear it anymore, and I don't feel. I can't just get rid of it.
Yeah.
I have to sell this thing. It wouldn't feel right. Should we just come up with it? Should we just have a retail therapy market where we can just have people just like list their shit on there?
I mean, that big brain thinking, but yeah, like that should absolutely be a.
I might just drop it in the Club Cool Discord before and be like, can someone just take this cardigan? It's like I don't want to put it up for adoption somewhere else and just have a rando take it. I want to know that it's going to a good home.
Right.
That's my concern.
Yeah, we need. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago too, but we need our store Moss here to go into guys consignment as well, so that we have an easy.
Help me out.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to like.
You also, by the way, I made my first over the little 3-week break here. I made my first purchase on the real.
How'd that go?
.com. Pretty good. I bought a pair of shoes, and the one of the things with it is about Real that I don't really. It's fine. It is what it is. But like the description about what you're going to receive is pretty lacking because they just have too many things. So you don't know things like, are you going to have the original shoebox? Yeah. If there's any bonus laces, you're going to get those. Are you going to get the dust bags? Are you going to get like all the little things? So it's just like it's very. So especially with the shoes, you're kind of rolling the dice a little bit.
Yeah. At my old job,
they turned out.
I had the
fine,
pleasure,
but no original box or anything like that. So,
see, that's I think that's on the retailer that sent their stuff to them, or the person that sent their stuff to them. I had the nightmare task at one point in my life of shipping stuff to the Real.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
I fucking hated it. It was just like we were just
taking
from
the store.
Yeah, we were just taking piles of stuff,
moving stuff on the Real.
Yeah, we had some extra. We had like extra nice inventory and stuff, and we didn't want to sell it at like a deep discount in the store or something. We decided that we were going to send it to them, and I think it ended up working out fine.
Interesting.
But sending all that stuff was a task because it's all high end stuff. I mean, the Real has just high end stuff on there,
right?
And so it was like, well, I don't want something to happen in transit, and then like you're just doing shoe boxes.
Yeah, I'm sure this was a personal. This was from an individual who, for whatever reason, had like gotten rid of the shoebox.
What'd you get?
Honestly, I think it's probably. Well, this is an interesting question. Okay, I'll pitch it to you.
Okay.
If money is no option and you're just buying whatever you want, whenever, just drop of a hat. Oh, you want those Bruno Cucinelli boots at $1,300? Sure, fine. Are you keeping all your shoe boxes?
Old me says no. New me thinks I need to keep shoeboxes.
Okay.
And I'm currently at I'm at a crossroads right now because half of my shoes have boxes. The other half of my shoes are just in like organized piles on a shelf in my closet. And I need to transition over to having all shoe boxes
Yeah. So
so I can stack them and keep things clean.
but so we've been talking about like redesigning or figuring out better storage in our primary closet,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
In our closet. And I was thinking like if you had just some big badass nice fancy fully built out container store California closet like, you know, beautiful walk-in that has spots for all your shoes.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're not just gonna have stacks of all your shoe boxes. Probably they're gonna be displayed in a nicer way or stored in a way that you've built out and paid for. So I still find myself wanting to hold on to the shoe boxes.
I do too.
So
But it feels
I'd almost
pointless
need
sometimes.
like a spot like a storage spot upper where you don't need to access very readily, where you can store all the shoe boxes like up towards the ceiling. Like maybe you get like
You're making me like want to design a closet right now. Like I want to get like a tiny house and just make
But
it into a closet.
it felt like that the I was thinking about it and I was like, if you're just willy-nilly buying pairs of shoes like that, maybe you don't care about the shoe boxes
Yeah, you
because
probably
money's
don't.
not it's that like I feel like we in kind of this like middle tier are kind of like holding on to it because it's like this is my nice
See, I'm not
this is my nice shoebox.
Yeah, but like exactly. Like, am I gonna save the shoebox from like the nice loafers I wore at my wedding? Yeah, I'm gonna save that shoebox.
Yeah.
Am I gonna save the shoebox for like a pair of like Nike Reacts? Like, no, I'm probably
No,
gonna throw
right.
that shoebox
No,
out.
same.
And so it's like
Yeah.
I guess I need to create some uniformity within my own environment right now.
Yeah.
I'm botching it.
God, this pod's flying off the rails. We're
It
talking about
really is.
keeping
But
shoe
now
boxes.
I mean, it's a good. No, I saw a picture of someone's closet one time, and I was like, oh, that's really smart to keep the shoe boxes because it kind of keeps things under control. It
Right.
keeps it more organized. You can stack everything. As
Yeah,
opposed
if you need the organization of that the boxes
I do.
provide, then you keep the boxes. And also, I do sell a lot of stuff online.
Yeah.
Boxes, people want the boxes.
Yeah,
that helps sell your item to have the original box.
But
So
then,
I
like,
keep.
how far do we take this? Are we going to start saving like the sleeves for our like sweaters that we get in the mail and stuff like that?
I do save the.
Do you?
Not every time, but the ALD sleeves I save because I know that is a brand where people will appreciate getting the item in the ALD sleeve. Like
You're-
that helps my
You're absolutely correct.
my
and
marketing pitch.
I wish I would have thought about that.
So
Can I buy some sleeves off you before I start diving into Grailed or anything?
yes, $20 each.
If there's one, okay, I'm gonna talk about a new sponsor here real quick, and
Yeah.
it's one I'm very excited about. A lot of people don't know this about me, but one of my favorite all-time tasks around the house is doing laundry. I love it. I absolutely love it. And here's something you might have never thought about, Barrett. Why does laundry detergent always come in these massive plastic jugs? Doesn't make sense. Who wants that?
Don't know.
Those inconvenient, awkward, heavy jugs are filled with messy goo, and that's up to 90% water. Washing machines already use water, so why would we pay more for it? Not to mention, 91% of those jugs don't get recycled. That's right, 70 million detergent jugs wind up in our landfills every single year, but it's not like you can just stop doing laundry. So do what I did and switch to Earth Breeze. My new Earth Breeze laundry detergent eco sheets, they look like dryer sheets. I'm a big dryer sheet guy. I love a dryer sheet, but they're not dryer sheets. These dissolve 100% in any wash cycle, hot or cold. It really couldn't be easier. There's no measuring, there's no mess. You just toss it in and call it a day. Earth Breeze has made the whole concept of detergent better. The packaging is compact, biodegradable, and plastic-free, and their eco sheets are vegan, cruelty-free. They're just incredible. They're dermatologist. I don't know how to say the word. This word is putting my brain in a pretzel. I'm going to get through this word because I have to. I have to do it for myself. These are dermatologically tested and safe for sensitive skin. I don't know what's up with me. I think it's the winter. I've had dry skin. I'm feeling sensitive.
Yeah,
I'm
always.
itchy.
That's the winter, baby.
It's time to flex with some Earth Breeze. They offer flexible subscriptions that can be adjusted, paused, or even canceled by you at any time without penalty. And with their Buy One, Give 10 initiative, each purchase donates 10 loads of detergent to a charitable cause of your choice. A whopping 30 million loads have already been donated. These little sheets have turned a chore into an act of kindness. And most important, you still get a powerful clean with your clothes. Go make it happen. This makes it so easy. We have such limited space in our closet that even from a space and storage standpoint, it's just easier to have this little box right there than it is to have a bunch of jugs of detergent. And now we have a child in the mix. It's just difficult.
Love
Lot of
love
laundry.
saving space. We
Lot
need
of
we need
laundry.
room for our shoeboxes, man.
Yeah, they need to make this for shoe boxes. I'm telling you this, but you won't really know it until you try it. If you don't like it, Earthbreeze will give you a full refund. You don't even have to send it back. They're just confident you'll love it as much as I do. Now's the time to try Earthbreeze because right now my listeners can subscribe and save 40%. Go to earthbreeze.com/scaries to get started. That's earthbreeze.com/scaries for 40% off. earthbreeze.com/scaries. Barrett, I don't have this on the rundown, but I've been doing something lately that I think we should just probably do quarterly, which is check in on our in and out lists.
Yeah.
I've got a couple things that I've noticed have been in.
Okay.
Can I run these by you
Sure.
real quick?
Yeah, please.
First and foremost, between when people broke for Christmas and New Year's, I saw something that makes sense that it'd be in, and this was mainly in bougie ski areas. Moon boots.
Yeah.
Moon boots. Everyone's wearing moon boots these days. They're not cheap. I thought
They're
like,
kind of cheap. I mean, not like they're not super expensive though.
are they not?
Not
Okay. Well, like, I mean, for a nice pair of boots, I guess they're pretty on par with everything else. I think I was thinking because my niece recently got some, and for a children's pair of boots, they are quite expensive for that.
Yeah.
Everyone I saw in some bougie nice area with snow in it, everyone was just wearing moon boots.
Yeah, I think that here's a big pair of moon boots. We're talking 165.
165.
In our world of things, not crazy.
I mean, when it comes to buying a nice pair of boots that you can wear in the snow, if you're buying something for less than that, you're probably going to have to replace those at some point relatively soon. Most of the time.
I did see this. I saw that we put on our stories, either Scaries or Retail Pod. I can't remember which, but I saw that we posted about these, and I was noticing quite a few pairs of these as well. I think that the whole like kind of like ski bunny look and kind of like that kind of 90s, not the gaper style, not like the super neon and everything.
No,
but that
we're
more
talking
like lavish, like Dumb and Dumber.
Exactly.
Mid-90s,
Dumb and Dumber was what I was going to say.
Of ski bunny vibe is very back. And then you had we mentioned this on a pod a couple of months ago, I believe, but on our listener question, somebody was asking if Uggs were back. And I responded to that question kind of knowingly, being like, well, yeah, they've kind of been back for a couple of years. I've noticed more and more Uggs. But now that I've been paying attention to the feed a little bit more and seeing more female women's stuff crop up, I think I now know what she was referring to, because while I think Uggs were back as kind of like casual housewear, it's fun to have Uggs again over the last couple of years. Now they are being styled in going out like daily fits quite a bit, and in particular, it is the Ugg mini boot. It's not the mid calf one, like the short one.
Yeah,
that are all over the place, and often it's mostly being worn with like a very wide legged pant, something that covers the boot. But they are everywhere on my feed right now, and I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with the moon boot style as well.
I mean, Julia Fox was even spotted wearing them over the Christmas season, just rocking out some what are they called? The low ones?
It's the mini boot.
The mini boot.
Yeah.
Uggs stress me out. There's something that stresses me out about Uggs.
Too.
I think it's just the blob nature of them, the way that they move with people's feet. I don't know what it is about them. They freak me out.
Yeah.
I also think it's because I saw so many salt-stained Uggs in 2005 and 2006 that it's hard for me to look at them at this point. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Can I name two other things that I think are very in right now?
Yeah. Okay.
I know that this brand has been around for a long time. I have no clue how to pronounce it. It's spelled very simply, ALO. I don't think you say ALO.
Aloe.
Aloe?
Mhm.
Men wearing aloe. I have seen such an uptick in this in the last few months. I know that women have been wearing it for a long time.
Yeah.
I know that it's been popular. It was not popular in my section of things. I have seen more dudes wearing the hats, wearing the vests, wearing the sweatshirts, wearing everything. Like a little oversized, a little baggy, pretty cozy, pretty comfy looking. It's everywhere. Is it just me, or have I just started noticing it because I saw it once and realized what the brand was?
So no, you're right. The more and more men have been wearing aloe, and here's what I think happened, because I speak anecdotally from my own personal thought process here. Aloe is, I would say, by far the sportswear athletic gear brand for women right now.
Yeah.
That's the number one brand that I see the sets from.
Lulu in the hot seat.
Lulu is still wait, what did you say?
They're in the hot seat.
They're still like very solid. I still see a lot of Lululemon, but like one more quick aside. I brought some stuff. I brought 2 big boxes to Buffalo Exchange over the break. A couple things that were in there were the tricolor block leggings from Outdoor Voices, circa 2016, 17.
It's been a minute since I've seen those.
And they looked at them and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're kind of overextended on these right now. We've got a lot of these."
I believe it.
And it was just notable, and especially here in Austin, where the brand really, really exploded.
Oh, if people in Austin aren't taking Outdoor Voices leggings in, then it's dire.
And Outdoor Voices has really, really, really just like fallen off a cliff.
You don't like see it nearly as much.
It was all you saw,
especially in here.
Every Whole Foods, every Central Market, every time you'd be out at brunch or whatever, just triple color leggings as far as the eye could see.
Everywhere.
And
everywhere.
Now it is not that. It is the matching sets from Aloe. It's a little bit more polished, a little bit more glamorous looking. Okay. So I certainly picked up on the rise of Aloe, and it made me interested in the brand because they do offer men's. And that's what I think's happened. I think it's become so popular on the women's side of things that men are like want a piece of it as well.
Yeah.
I've tried on stuff. I've gone onto the Aloe store and on South Congress and tried on some things. None of it fit me very well.
It looks like it fits large
and
boxy.
And I find the kind of little silvery, glitzy logo doesn't really like fit the at least my vibe as well as it does as well as it reads on women.
I feel like it is becoming so popular among men that a lot of men want that logo right now.
They do.
They want that patch.
Yeah.
They want that stony patch on the shoulder.
Right.
That's something I'm going to buy soon, and I'm not proud of it.
But on men it reads as kind of the California golf bro guy, right? Like
to be honest, the first time I saw a guy wearing Aloe,
like a little douchey.
I saw a guy wearing a hat, and he was wearing an Aloe hat, and my first inclination was, he's only wearing that so girls talk to him. He's wearing a female centric hat so girls talk to him. And then someone's like, no, they make guys clothes too. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
but yeah, I get it.
And don't get me wrong, I'm kind of poo-pooing it here. I wanted in on it too because it's so popular, right? Like,
yeah.
and the stuff looks amazing on women, and it looks the color palette's great. Like it all fits really well. But right now I'm just not feeling it on guys.
I have an embargo on my spending for athleisure right now.
I've definitely noticed a lot more of it on guys.
Yeah, especially
those trucker hats with the big silver logo.
Well, the final thing I have that's currently been in, and I'm worried it's on its way out, is this emoji.
Yeah.
This emoji.
Making a heart with your hands.
Yes. I have been getting those in all different shapes and forms lately, from all different walks of life. And so I just wanted to put that on my list and just make a mental note that if you're trying to be nice to somebody this weekend, hit him with the hands heart emoji.
It's been noted mentally.
I think I might just start doing that in photos. That might be my new call sign. I just sit there.
I mean, it's kind of the Bieber thing, right?
Is that what he does?
He back in the day, like when he was doing
Was he the initial like inspiration for this emoji?
I feel like this was I don't know. I feel
Is his eye okay yet? Is his eye okay?
I don't know.
He had some eye issue. I don't know. He had to cancel dates.
GQ just posted like a column that was just like 34 of the best Haley and Justin fits though, so that they got that going for them.
They'll get me. They'll get that click from me.
I'm definitely gonna click on
that. Barrett, it's time.
Yeah.
Let's do our wish list.
Okay.
It's been a minute since we've added anything to our wish list. We kind of skipped it the last couple episodes, but we're back now. Do you want me to start since I've already got mine in here and you've already talked about them?
Sure.
I saw this on Twitter. Someone tweeted. Don't know who it is. I would love to give them some attribution right now, but I can't do that as I did not save the tweet. But it said, someone stopped me from buying these YSL tortoiseshell patent leather loafers. And I saw them and I was like, I kind of love these things. I love a loafer. I know the Club Cool Boys aren't the biggest loafer fans sometimes.
But
that doesn't stop my love for loafers. I think my dad's love for loafers has caused me to just have that ingrained in my brain.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's something about I love a tortoise. I love a tortoise. I've never been into the shiny tortoise, I guess, but I think I could see myself getting into this and maybe tossing these with some jeans. Unfortunately, and I told Barrett that before the episode started, this is not an imminent cop.
Yeah.
because these are $895. And so what I plan on doing is not buying these unless something happens. Maybe YSL gets canceled or something and they get on deep discount and I can get them for under $2.
So here's what you do. You go to ysl.com and you sign up for their emails, and then you will get a, early access private sale type email.
Okay.
And because this is a very seasonal trend focused leather, this is not just a standard black pair of penny loafers. They will go on sale.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
It probably won't be more than you definitely won't get more than 50% off. Your more likely discount is 30, but that still makes them a little bit more feasible. With this, I pulled these up, and what it made me think of, who doesn't love tortoiseshell? Tortoiseshell doesn't get utilized enough outside of like acetate and sunglasses.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. It's really weird to me. I don't know. There's something very like mid 90s or late 90s or whatever about a patent tortoise kind of thing. I feel like you don't see it very often. You've seen it. I see it sometimes in like women's accessories. You can see like an acrylic earring or something, or like a clutch or things like that.
Sure.
But when it comes to men's stuff, you don't really see it. And I almost feel like I feel like it's kind of a cool item because I think that a lot of people would see you wearing them and not think twice. But if somebody really honed in on your footwear and looked down, they'd be like, hey, those are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of different.
Yeah. It's a statement piece that like kind of blends in well. They're pretty versatile.
I'm also in a period, I'm going through my loafer era a little bit, but I have a pair of black loafers that I wear a lot. And I'm looking for a pair of mix-in loafers that I can wear in place of my black ones. And so I've been going the brown route. I haven't found anything that I'm in love with yet. And this was just kind of the tipping point of me realizing that I just need to get something that's not black.
Yeah.
Will I get these? Probably not. Will I get something similar? I might try. Do you have anything you're adding to your list today?
Yeah, we're on the designer wavelength today for our wish list items. I carry a card case. That's my wallet of choice. Little two slot front and back. That is the style that I've carried for well over a decade now. And I don't like beat them into the ground until they're like falling apart at the seams, but I go several years at least with them, and then it's time for a refresh. And so it's about that time. I've had my current one, which is from Coach, for several years now.
What's the life of a wallet? Like, what do you think yours is?
Like, how long do I think I've had it?
Yeah,
and it's got to have been 4 years.
It's something that I don't think I replace enough.
And I mean, this thing could probably go another 2. Like, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
All I do is sit on it.
It's true. I refuse to sit on my wallet. I don't like having
pocket.
I just usually just have it out recklessly.
Okay.
Yeah. If you see me in Europe, mug me.
Do you think this thing is causing me back issues?
No.
At this small?
No.
But is it just giving me?
That's about the exact size as my wallet.
Is it giving me a little 1 centimeter tilt?
You might.
That's messing with my spine.
See, how do you not think about that? If you ever have back pain, do you ever just think about that? Like, man, it's probably my wallet.
Well, now I'm thinking about it.
Like, what if it's something that small? I just have a little ostrich card case thing that I carry around that I enjoy.
Well, so I'm thinking about going a little fancier on this next go round.
Okay,
but I Louis Vuitton and Goyard are, I feel like, both too obvious.
Yeah,
I get
it.
And I like to go off the beaten path. The first thing I'm going to bring up is also not where I intend on going, but it is. It's on my radar, and that's kind of the obvious choice right now, which is Bottega Veneta.
I like this
with their Intrecciato leather stitching, which is it's the weave that is very
that's very soothing to look at,
recognizable as a Bottega hallmark, and obviously Daniel Lee is no longer at the head of Bottega anymore, but while he was there, he really established this parakeet green as their kind of signature color, and I really like it. You're seeing this green in a lot of other places right now, and in even like chartreuse, but in a greener chartreuse, kind of a neon green look is really
hit me with
right
some
now.
Other variations, color variations of this. I want to see what this looks like. Ooh, okay.
Got blue.
That blue. Ooh, you get that acorn.
You can keep it classic with like a brown acorn.
You got like a Merlot or anything? See, people that are listening in their car right now and that aren't watching on YouTube or Spotify, they're just punching air right now. They're like, I want to see how soothing this weave is. Ooh, I kind of like the blue.
Deep blue.
That's not that
It's a
deep
navy,
blue. Is that little
yeah.
midnight?
So this is a great option. But again, I like to swerve on them a little bit more, and so you're really gonna like where I'm going next, because here we go with favorite of the pod, Loewe. So they do
Will always follow me around.
they do they're one of their signature card holders is and they utilize this same look on bags as well. They call it the puzzle bag,
Kind of looks like mountains to me.
puzzle card holder. And it's very geometric and does these like little triangle dips. And they utilize this in multicolor versions and also solid color versions. Here's the thing. There's our bright green again. I don't know which one of these to choose. I'm getting choice fatigue, because how could I possibly choose from all these beautiful color options?
It is hard, and it's something you would have to look at every single day. It's
Right.
something you have to deal with. I mean, but then conversely, it's something that you also have on your ass every single day. So how much should we care? You know?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
get it. Like, these are cool. I see. I guess the wallet and accessories are something that I could. It's probably a section of menswear and men's accessories that I could really brush up on.
This blue and gray is really nice,
Yeah,
but so is this black and brown.
these
you
are
know?
cool.
So
I wish the imprint wasn't there. Again with the imprint, the embossed.
you're out on that imprint.
I don't
on
know.
the-
Something
yeah.
as small as a wallet. Sometimes I'm like, do we need this? Like,
Yeah.
no one's really staring at your wallet looking
Right.
for branding on it.
would be clean without it. I do agree with that.
But I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that only want it because of the imprint.
Yeah. So this is what I'm adding to my list. It's a new card holder. I'll link you to both the Bottega and the Loewe, but I'm leaning towards the Loewe puzzle card holder right now.
I love it. I love it. We haven't had a wallet or a card holder on this on our wish list yet, so this is big for everybody. I might need to go through my wish list soon and just take some stuff off and
Yeah.
make some
I mean, maybe we
significant
should
edits.
should we start it anew for 2023?
We could. Maybe I'll make a Substack post that's just our 2022 wish list, and then we'll move on and we'll start doing 2023. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I like that idea. Well, the first episode of Retail Therapy is in the books. Do we need to put a cherry on top for any reason?
I don't think so. Another great one.
Well, if you haven't already, go follow at retail.pod. We're having an online party when we hit 10K. I don't know what that means, but I'll just maybe post something.
Let us know when we get there. Yeah.
Other than that, I guess we'll see you guys when we see you. Later.